you can counter blows, so I throw 3 blows at you, you need to defend. Now, I'm not allowed to attack, then you attack me 3 times. Or the stop drill, where we do some sparring and then a third person stands off to the side and then we'll go stop at a certain point and you both freeze where you are, and it's like, right, where could you hit them or where could you hit them? And you talk through and go, well, that's the blow I'd throw, and vice versa, and you can work through and do progression like that. So I'll go through and do some structured drills, try working on some specific points, and then after that they'll do the King of the Hill or something, and then work up and train at training calibration. Then the last 10 to 15 minutes of an evening, they'll go, right, this is 20 fight, so they'll ramp right up and it'll be every blow counts, everything, so you're fighting seriously. So when you step off the field, your last fights are dead on serious and you leave with that, yep, this is what I need to do for the next one. So it's a little bit of a warm up into it, a little bit of structure, some consolidation of what you've learnt, and then no holds barred at the end, and then go home friends. So that's the basic methodology of the training night. So this is why we started off with some whack, we're going through some chats, and then we're going to go do some more whacking, and then probably do the bear pit towards the end to consolidate what we've discussed. The next phase we'll talk about is mental preparedness. So when you go to fight a tourney, a lot of different people will do a lot of different things before they step onto the field. Some people find that they need to go out and go through a lot of slow work, and even to the point where they progress, they're going pretty much full speed, but unarmoured. So you'll find that a fair few of those around Canberra do a lot of parry riposte drills or 2-stick drills, or they'll go through and they just have little steps that they do to wind themselves up into the game. Other people decide that they need to put up as many tents as possible and make sure shit doesn't fall over. Everyone has their own little thing that helps them get into the mindset to be prepared to step onto the field. Then for when you then come into the tourney, there are some things that help and some things that don't. So Berenger has a few points where you go arm and stand ready. He will make sure that when he is called to the field, he is at the gate waiting. It's rude to have your opponent have to wait for you to go, oh, yep, okay, helmet, this and the other. And by you being there, and if they then come up, you go, after you. There's these little mind games that give you that little bit of an edge. Then from there, on the field, you'll go, okay, I'm going to keep moving. I'm not going to stand still, because then that just settles, or it doesn't settle, it unevenly grounds. By having the constant movement, you're going, all right, yep, not just fidgety, but deliberate actions. You can move around, you can keep the flow. You're not going into, when they go lay on, you're not going from stop to go. With the salute, he makes every part of the salute a deliberate action. Every movement is a blow. It's also, okay, look, I have a thrusting kick, or bits and pieces. So everything he does during that is a deliberate action. It's also at a point where you can go, all right, I've got my little mannerisms which I do during that. Some of them make sense, some of them don't. It's others you can go, oh, he's standing in that way, he's doing this with his shield, or he's doing that, or there are some mannerisms where different people have that you can get tells from what they will do later by them. So, and it's just a way, another thing that you can read when going to fight someone on the field. Then from that, I am missing something, but I have forgotten my name. While you're thinking of it, I forget.
And all of these fancy things also are much more entertaining to the crowd. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make everyone have a good time. So the way you purport yourself on the list field is really important as a communicator of how you regard the populace and your opponent.
No worries. Now, the third part, which pretty much comes at the end of your mental preparedness for a fight. So you get on the field, you do your bits and pieces, you make sure you're nice and happy and you're in. When you get on the field, you need to then pay attention to what's happening around you. Because if you don't pay a lot of attention to what's happening around you, you can sometimes get stung in the arse. So, could I get yourself to get sword, shield, armour on? Brennan? Yourself, sword, shield and hat on. Checkers, could I get you with sword, shield and hat? Just a fascinating pompa. So, as we have a look at it, what can you tell me about the stance of these two people? What's one of the first things that kind of stands out with those two? So we picked Dapper. What are some key things about Dapper that you can see by his stance, his equipment, what he's doing? So.
First thing that stands out to me is just the size of his shield.
Yep, so he has a very big shield. When you look at it, when he stands very square. The shield's across the front of him. This front corner is very munted. So it says that he does a lot of blocking with that corner of the shield. Because the shield's very big, it covers most of it. So it'll say that he's not very mobile because he's relying very much. So he's not very mobile because he's relying on a very big shield to do all of his defense. So, Sebastian, what can you notice about him? He's got a white belt. Sometimes that means something, sometimes. So that's one thing. Colour of belts is sometimes something to pick up on.
Boss grip.
Yep, centre grip shield. So, what's the advantage of centre grip shield? Yeah, more movement. So.
More things with it, so with the centre grip you can put around the opposite side.
Yeah, it's much more aggressive. It's get extended around from the body.
So what hand is he holding his shield in?
Right hand.
Right hand. So lefties. So that's also something very important. So as we have a lovely example here. So if you go to the guard. So what do you notice about Sir Brandon? So what have you noticed that, okay, he's a lefty. What does his shield have a lot of? Corners. So there's got a lot of things to defend that can catch the weapon. It's proportionately square, large to the size, or it's nice proportions to his body. So as you see how he moves his arm down that little bit, it does cover that leg nicely. So you go, he stands in a very confident pose and the shield up. And you go, oh, I can see a lot of leg, but I don't really think that that's overly a viable target because it's very much, I can see the white belt, I can see, hey, I can see a lot of leg. I don't want to try and snipe that because he's going to make me pay for that. So do you want to...
The lot of leg is also his very shield foot forward.
Yep. So very shield foot forward. So we have now Rodrigo. So so left or right-handed? Yep. So you'll find some lefties will fight centre grip and they'll pretty much come in like this to go, you can't remember what I am, and then they'll wrap it and then you go, that's it. So Gladius was doing it for a while. Dan Atkins.
Yeah, he's a killer.
So he has small shield, small sword. But it's
Small
so
dude.
For him to hit you, he needs to be therefore closer.
They can go quicker too.
Yep.
Although some long swords can go really quick too.
Very much centre line. So is he going to be the aggressor? No. This is from there, that's a very defensive stance to start with. Same as an A-frame stance is very defensive. So it also goes that he is anticipating to be hit first. So he will assess what you do and wait for you to throw something and then parry riposting to what you're doing. Now next we have checkers. What's different about checkers? He's using a two-hander.
You see things in black and white.
So with this, it's comparative for a glaive. It is rather short, but it is very quick as a result of that. So he doesn't have to move it as fast, or it's less mass to get in motion. So, yep. With handball, handball has 3 or 4 different lengths of stick. They're all exactly the same colour. They all look pretty much the same. So that's you go, oh, no worries. And now if Checkers was to, for argument's sake, let your backhand slide a little bit. So if he was to short half, then you go, oh, no worries. You go, how is he holding it? What is he in for big game? He's gone, haha. It's like, I don't like what he just did with that backhand. I'm going to take a little bit step back. So there's ways he holds it, where he holds it, what he's focused on. So that's very much so that says he's going to start with block, chop, aggressive type game, whereas this is a thrust or a round, but it's very much a line game now. So there's different stances, then you can draw stuff out of the pole weapons as well.
You're using some jargon terms that some of the new folk
Yep.
haven't heard before. But I think that's okay.
Yep, so this will come into some of the further lessons that we'll go on to. So this is just the methodology and looking at what you're fighting to start with.
One thing to note with Checkers, he's also taking a field with a red belt, which means that he's probably got some experience.
Someone thinks it's cool.
Someone thinks he's cool.
We think you're cool, that's good. And so we've done that already, and I've got your name.
Luther or Jason?
Jason, would you please come forwards? So if you go to
Hello.
stance, so kind of facing, so Nikolai was who you were fighting. So what can you tell roughly of this? So left or right handed?
Been christened yet?
Oh, he's been hit a lot.
There's a few in there.
So rather large shield, it is rounded, it gives the advantage of the hugging of the body. So the sword back, what does that?
It's ready to throw a shot.
Yep, so yeah, no.
No.
So he's more focused on attacking with the sword than he is defending with the sword. The stance was still, the corner was across the line of body, so he is still focusing on defense, and there is very much the looking over the shield. He does want to hit you with that, but he is relying very much on this for most of his defense. So that if you then manipulate, work on that, then you can work from there.
Or you wait 5 minutes and my arm just drops away.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that depends on your fighting career, where you're at.
that's another
So
thing.
can I ask what you do when you get tired, when your arm's doing that and you're facing someone? Do you just keep
get
going until you vomit? Or
Just delibery take a shot to the head and have a little snooze for a bit.
It's not yet authorised.
okay, take half a step back. When your arm gets tired, take a step back.
Yeah.
Okay? You've got a slower reaction time or whatever. You're actually old school, you're listening to your sword, just take half a step back. It'll make a big difference.
Thank you.
And if you drop, as you take that half step back, and you're now out of to be hit, you can drop your shield, your knees nice, lovely and big. You can rest as well. But you'll also notice that large timber shield, small timber shield, medium timber shield, 3/4 of a fridge door. Different materials in the shields will also then have different qualities as well. So alloy shields will generally be quicker, but the timber shields have more mass behind them to counter some of the blows as well. But so just pros and cons as well. No worries. So from here, find a dance partner, go and have some fun.